This ingredient is probably one of the most important ingredients when it comes to sheer feeding the world. Bread is probably eaten by every culture, every religion eats bread, we all consume bread. Today, we are in Platteville, Colorado. We are going to take a tour of Bay State Milling's small-scale wheat mill. It is absolutely fascinating. Bread is one of the most important food products in the world. The wheat that goes into bread is incredibly important to the actual outcome and quality of the bread that we eat, not only from a nutritional standpoint, but from a delicious standpoint. And these guys make some really delicious flour that makes really delicious bread. I trust cows more than I trust chemists. Know your farmer, know your food. I really hope that we can arouse some curiosity in people. The very simplest of great ingredients can really make a difference in your life. Great ingredients make great food. Brent's going to walk us through, he's the mill manager here. He has a degree in milling science, so you don't get higher than this in the industry. And Brent's going to walk us through the basics of the milling process. So Brent, kind of tell us where we are and what's going on here.
Beginning of the process is in grain receiving, which that's what these bins are around us right now. So we receive the raw wheat in, and you can see the conveyors on top of the bins.
Really the first key step in the process here locally is the cleaning house. So here we're essentially going to separate out the things we don't want going into the milling process. Stones, weeds, chaff, you name it. And we'll show you some of the things that come out of the process.
Missing family pets.
Right. So you can see there's conveyance coming across, and all the transportation happens either physically through conveyance or pneumatically. So you see a lot of piping where we're literally blowing it using air.
So this is raw wheat coming into the cleaning house, and it's really the beginning of the whole process.
Most of the grain coming in is local, right? So it's coming from all over. But we do selectively have to import some grain, and one of the things I think we do very well is localize the supply chain.
So these things just come through the normal process of combining.
Yeah, it's pretty normal.
Are those just like thistle heads or something?
Yeah, it's thistle.
So that guy made it.
Yeah.
So this is all ultimately clean wheat.
Right.
So these guys start with thousands and thousands of bushels of wheat, and all that gets thrown away in the whole process are little stones and this. Everything else gets used. That's cool.
Depending on the type of flour they're going to make, we mix the wheat according to variety and protein. Then we do what's called tempering. Well, the tempering is where we apply water, and then we let the wheat rest for about 12 hours, and that gives some resiliency to the outside of the kernel, and it also mellows the endosperm, the inside. After that wheat is rested for about 12 hours, we start the milling process. So at this point, the wheat's been tempered.
So there is a roller mill in here right now. That's your 50-inch by 10-inch.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We use these machines called roller mills. It's a series of steps where we grind and sift, grind and sift, grind and sift.
Generates a lot of heat.
Yeah.
Is that a factor in the milling? Do you have to control heat? Do you try to keep it? You can really start to see the endosperm.
Yep. And then it goes up to a sifter to where we make 5 or 6 different separations. One of those separations is flour, and the other separations are coarse material with some bran in it, and we send those on to more grinding and sifting steps.
These guys feed a lot of people. And are these all really, are these sifted mostly just by weight? Do they weigh? Specific gravities are different? So this is all finished flour in here.
Yes.
Ready to go.
All finished flour, blown over, stored, weighed, hopper, comes down. We convey it all the way out.
The sheer magnitude of how many loaves of bread this represents is so, you know, it's staggering to me. And this is a tiny mill.
Yeah.
I hope you think about how many people you feed.
Oh.
It's just, it blows my mind, and it's very cool.
About you. About you.
What a great day this has been. I just want to thank you so much for taking the time, and I want to thank you for producing what truly is a great ingredient. This is so cool. Dude, that's the stoner. Every business has one, whether you know it or not. You know, I figured I'd see some Swiss or German equipment in here. For the record, I would like to say that your warehouse is cleaner than my bedroom, okay? It just is.